Dear Optimist, my husband knows very well that I love nothing more than to wear bonnets, and recently he's bought a convertible. Now he's always doing passive-aggressive things like this. Like one time, I got my teeth removed, and he bought a box of Cracker Jacks. And this other time, I had burns covering 90% of my body. And what did he do? Trick me into getting a hot oil massage. And then when we were there, he tricked me so that I would fall into a vat of hydrochloric acid. Now I've long since forgiven him for these misunderstandings, but I'm really having a hard time feeling optimistic about this bonnet situation. Do you have any suggestions? Mad due to no more bonnets, Cleveland, Ohio. Dear Mad, you can still wear a bonnet in a convertible. You just need more of them to start with. Would I suggest buy an enormous stockpile of bonnets, put them in your car, and begin driving. When one bonnet flies off, just grab another one. And as you're driving, you'll leave a wake of happiness as people scuttle after your convertible to pick up your glorious bonnets. Just super! Dear Optimist, upon returning from vacation recently, I discovered my whole house was full of lemons. I mean, totally full. Even the cat had a lemon in its mouth. What do you recommend? Sourpuss from Topeka, Kansas. Dear Sourpuss, that is a tough one. What do you do when life gives you lemons? 1, you grab a lot of hefty bags. 2, you fill those hefty bags with lemons. 3, you lug those lemons out to the curb. 4, you call the certified waste disposal contractor to lug those lemons away that are now rotting in your front yard. Before long, your house will be lemon-free, like magic. And then you can go out to celebrate by getting a nice cold beverage. Don't forget to give Kitty a jaw massage. Dear Optimist, now my wife is a terrific artist, except when it comes to me. Whenever she paints me, my legs are half the size of my torso, my face looks like the face of a frog, my legs are always splayed out unattractively like some hideous reptile, and I always have this smug, pinched look on my face. Now when she paints anybody else, the paintings look exactly like themselves. And at one of her recent one-woman shows, I heard her friends talking about it. I felt so embarrassed. How might I have taken this in a more optimistic way? Hurt but hopeful, Seattle, Washington. Dear Hurtbutt, after receiving your letter, I sent a private investigator to your house with a camera. And guess what? Have you looked in a mirror lately? Your legs are squat, you do have the face of a frog, your feet are reptilian, and your face is smug and pinched. So not to worry, your wife is a terrific artist. Dear Optimist, when I go to the zoo, I get so sad. All those animals sitting in their feces. I mean, do you have any suggestions? Animal lover, Pasadena, California. Dear Animal, the answer is simple. Don't go to the zoo. But if you do find yourself tricked into going to the zoo, just keep this mantra in mind. All those animals coated in all that poop pacing in the dry, grassless trenches in their enclosures have natural predators. So if they were out in the wild, they might as well be dead. So ask yourself, would you rather be dead or pacing around a dry enclosure covered in a little bit of your poop? I know what my answer would be. Dear Optimist, I'm an emancipated single mother living in a famine region with my 4 children. Rebels often come down from the hills with their automatic weapons. They kill some and violate the rest. All of our men are dead or have been driven away. There is no fresh food or water to be had. I would be very appreciative of any advice you have to give. Not altogether hopeful, Africa. Dear Hopeful, thanks so much for writing. If it does come at any sort of consolation, you are in a vast minority. There are, relative to the world's population, very few people in your boat. Most of the rest of us are not starving or in danger, and in fact, most of us do not even know that you are starving and in danger, and are just out here leading rich, rewarding lives, having fun, all kinds of fun. Does that help? I hope so. And remember, trouble can't last forever. Dear Optimist, I started life out as an angel, but through a misunderstanding, I became a fallen angel. And now I'm Lord Lucifer, master of all evil. And I know I should be grateful. I do love working for myself, and I am one of the 2 most powerful beings in the world. I feel like there's something missing. some absence. I hear people call it goodness. Usually when I hear someone use this word, I get frustrated and immediately trick them into doing something horrific. But lately, somehow this isn't enough. Thoughts? Satan from hell. Dear Satan, clearly you are lonely. I suggest you find a dead person and curl up next to them. They're gonna be lonely, you're lonely. It's a real win-win. I think they'll love it, or maybe not. Maybe it will kind of scare them to have Satan suddenly arrive and be all cramped in a little coffin. Oh, I doubt it. Whatever, it's all good. Dear Optimist, recently my wife left me for another man. Not only that, he's bigger, better looking, and richer than me. At least according to my wife, better endowed and with a nicer singing voice and less back hair. To tell the truth, I am feeling somewhat pessimistic about the situation. Any advice? Depressed because my penis is smaller than my wife's new and more handsome lover. Brighton, Michigan. Dear small penis, try to look on the bright side. At least he's not more articulate than you. And dear Optimist, oh yes he is, I forgot that. Dear small penis, no worries, I believe in you. She is clearly not the right woman for you. And if you can accept... Dear Optimist, actually Ralph is just finishing up a translation of an ancient Sanskrit text on social deportment. And I know Judy's the right one for me. I just can't live without her. I'd rather die. Dear small penis, wow, no wonder she left you. You are so negative and somewhat pig-headed. Dear Optimist, I know, right? That's what Judy always said. Oh, what's the point of living anymore? I'm just gonna take these fast-acting suicide pills and... Dear small penis, you know, small penis, you don't seem to understand optimism at all. What is the essential quality of an optimist? He is a non-pessimist. What's the essential quality of a pessimist? He thinks too much, gets depressed, and paralyzed. Like you, small penis. Me, I like to think as little as possible and stay happy and peppy. Peppy and active. If something is bothering me, I think of something else. If someone tells me some bad news, I ignore it. I knew this guy, very optimistic. And he was being eaten by a shark, but he just kept shouting, "It's for the best, it's for the best." Now that was an optimist. In the end, he was just as dead, but he didn't bring everyone else down. What a great guy. I really miss him. No, I don't. It's all good. I don't miss Todd at all, even though we were briefly lovers, and I've never felt more completely inhabited. So valued. No biggie. I'm certainly not going on moping about it now, am I? Right, small penis? Right? Hello? Oh, I guess he's off moping somewhere. Dear Optimist, recently my father-in-law backed me over with his car. And then when I complained, he backed over me again. And then from beneath his wheels, I complained once more. He got out of his car and poured molten metal all over me, and then hauled me out to a public park, lugged me up on a pedestal, and put a placard at my feet saying sloth. What gives? I am trying to think about this incident in a positive light, but I'm having difficulties, as my chin itches and my arms are cast in bronze, so I can't scratch my face. I love parks, but hey, this is ridiculous. Fort Myers, Florida. Dear loves parks. Bronze-encrusted arms? Really? Then how did you write this letter? Dear Optimist, one of my arms isn't completely encrusted in bronze. Dear loves parks. Then why don't you scratch your chin with that arm? Dear Optimist, because I'm holding a pen in that hand, and if I drop the pen I will not be able to pick it up as my torso is encrusted in bronze. Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't you tell me to kill myself with some fast-acting suicide pills? You've already called me pig-headed and negative. Dear loves parks. Is that you, small penis? I thought the handwriting was familiar. Were you faking it just now when you were taking all those pills? And are you not encrusted in bronze? Dear Optimist, that's right, genius. And in fact, I'm going to get Judy on the phone just this minute. If she'll just listen to me, I know... Dear Optimist, I'm feeling so great. I have internalized all the wonderful things you've taught over the years via your column. I'm just so excited. Thrilled to be alive. Never felt better. Chicago, Illinois. Dear Thrilled. Super. Now do you have a question? Dear Optimist. No, not really. Dear Thrilled. What the heck? What's the name of this column? Is it Make a Statement to the Optimist? Is it come in here and act like Mr. Perfect, is it? Dear Optimist, I totally respect what you're saying. My apologies and have a great day. I'm gonna actually go sit somewhere quietly and reflect on what I've done so that in the future I won't make the same mistakes. Thrilled. Dear Thrilled. Jeez, what an asshole. Well, that's all the time we have, so, damn it, Judy wouldn't take my call. This is the worst day of my life. Small Penis. Dear Small Penis, we are done. The column is finished. Do I come to your work and mess with you? Dear Optimist, I don't work, and thanks very much for rubbing that in. You know what? I've had it with you. I'm coming straight over to your place right now. Dear anyone, please call the police. I'm sure I'll be fine. Oh God, he's breaking down the door. Call the police, call the police. Oh, help. Dear Optimist, how do you like that? How do you feel, Mr. Superior? Dear everyone, ouch, ouch, oh God. Dear everyone, it is finished. The Optimist is no more. We are, at last, free of his arrogance. And Judy, if you're out there, size isn't everything. And articulate isn't everything. And tall isn't everything. And also, sweetie, I just had my back waxed. Give me some hope. I await your letter, darling. Small Penis, a.k.a. Steve. Dear Small Penis, a.k.a. Steve. Hi, Steve. How's it going? I'll be replacing the Optimist over here at the column now. Just call me the new Optimist. Super. Here's what I recommend. Turn yourself in. There will be good food in jail and time for contemplation. And who knows, maybe we'll have a spiritual rejuvenation and pull your head out of your ass. Isn't that better than living on the lam? Judy is not taking you back, and I should know. I'm going to have her forever. Thrilled to be alive, never felt better, aka the new Optimist. Dear Ralph, you bastard! Is it really you, you scum, you wife stealer? Look what you've reduced me to. I'm a murderer. I murdered the Optimist. My God, the look on his face, even at the end. He was trying so hard to smile pleasantly. Steve. Dear Steve-O. Yup, you schmuck, it's me, Ralph. And guess what? I followed you over here. I am right outside. You'll never harass poor Judy again. I have a letter on me that I've written, and I'm going to plant it on your corpse. All the world will believe that you killed the Optimist and then killed yourself in a bizarre murder-suicide. If one really wants to be an optimist, there is only one way. Win. Always win. Be superior and never lose. Slaughter your enemies and live on so that you are left to write the history books. Goodbye, Steve. Ralph rules. Here I come. Oh, you look scared. I did it. Steve is no more. I'm going right home to make optimistic love to sweet Judy. And from now on, the column is mine. No more working at the oil change place and writing my Sanskrit book on the weekends. Thrilled, aka Ralph, aka the new Optimist. Dear new Optimist, I recently left my husband of 10 years for a new man. My ex was small-penised and hairy-backed and not very articulate. Although I feel really good about my decision, sometimes I feel guilty. What do you suggest? Completely happy almost. Dear almost happy. Don't worry about it. It's all good. What I'd recommend is, as soon as your man comes home from wherever he is right now, make ferocious love to him like you've never done before in your life. Show your adoration by doing things you've never even dreamed of with that boring loser Steve. Dear new Optimist, okay, will do. As a matter of fact, he just rang the door. Gotta go. Completely happy all the way. P.S. Say, how did you know my ex-husband's name was Steve? Dear all the way. Don't be so negative. That's what got you in trouble in the first place, Judy. You think too much. Just be quiet and do what I say. Follow my lead. Hail optimism. Long live the new Optimist. Open the door. Judy, open the door so that we can begin our beautiful new life together. And don't even think of talking back, Missy. Dear new Optimist. Okay, super. Thanks for the advice. Come in, Ralph. God, you look flushed. Hey, honey, why are you holding that bludgeon? Completely happy. all the way. Although I may just be a little scared by now. AKA Judy. Dear Judy, there will be no problems, Judy, if you simply acknowledge my absolute supremacy in a way that continually pleases me. And this is not a bludgeon, it's a bouquet of flowers. Isn't it, Judy? Right? Right, Judy. Well, that's all the time we have. Not that I'm complaining. See you next time. Never doubt yourself. And if you are feeling down, castigate yourself. And if others try to put the slightest trace of doubt in your mind, rebuke them. And should your rebuke not alter their speech, feel free to do harm to them, even unto death. And, after they have died, feel free to arrange their rictus-stricken mouths into happily hopeful smiles. And that's an order. Believe me, you'll be doing them a favor. Just kidding, you are special. The new Optimist.